What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gamer Dad channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about this seasonal characters thing, and in my opinion, or I guess in your opinion, how do you think all of this is going to fly when the PTS comes into perspective? The PTS is my main focus right now because that's always been a very interesting dynamic. Now, I haven't touched the PTS in a while simply because it didn't necessarily matter much to me. But with these seasonal characters that are coming into play, it seems like the developers are taking a slightly different approach. They don't necessarily want to ram through their decision making. They want to seemingly test out some things on the PTS, and they haven't even given a conclusion as to how or what direction they're going to go. My question is, those of you that play on PC, or those of you who have a Division account on PC, are you going to be engaging with the PTS? This is a very, very interesting dynamic because the game has reached this part in its lifespan where, yes, there are still a good number of active players, which is crazy. I mean, some of you may or may not believe it. I see some comments. Well, maybe I'll see like one comment every 3 videos that's like, oh, the game is dead or whatever it is. Well, I mean, that's a very interesting perspective. It's quite relative because there are clans that are active. There are people who are active playing Descent every darn single day. There are people who are playing, what's the name of the one, Pentco? Countdown. I mean, that one's the one that's the most popular. It was what the developer should have designed, like 5 content pieces with that particular length of play and whatever it is. But you know, Penko will have to do because it drops a lot of loot. So seeing how they want to take all of this into the PTS, what are your thoughts exactly? How do you think this is going to pan out? Do you think this is going to work out for them? Do you think this is something that the developers are going to benefit from? I strongly believe that, you know, with very limited resources, the developers could have easily also brought, say, another iconic piece of Division 1 into the whole conversation. And they're dragging their legs around it like, you know, or maybe they want to basically use it for like a last-minute big throwdown because mine seem to be changing a lot. I remember the very first time, and I've said this in other videos, when I asked about, you know, survival. I remember they had this community manager. His name was, I think, Anthony or something like that. I can't remember. He moved on to a different studio. And I asked and I said, you know, are the developers going to bring survival to the Division 2? And he replied and said, you know, currently there are no plans to bring survival to the Division 2. And I was like, man, what a mistake this is. So instead of doing all this PTS stuff, you already have Pentco Countdown, which is good for farming loot. But you have survival, which is sitting in your library that you can bring in and make the one change a lot of people kind of wanted, which is the sporadic nature of the world constantly changing. It's the one factor that has not necessarily been leaned into in the Division 2, which is using the changing world to be able to create a mission where the player is now in a survival-based, scenario. Why the developers would not or have not done this is shocking to me. Yes, we got an incursion. Awesome. We got 2 raids. Awesome. We've got, you know, the descent mode. Sure, whatever. I've never played it before. Not interested in it. We've got, you know, freaking 100 towers. I can't even summit. Oh, of course, wonderful. But what is the holdup between between the developers and such an iconic game mode? I don't see any reason why. So, as much as this PTS is a thing, you know, some are going to play it. I'm probably going to play it. I just feel like that could have, in my opinion anyways, you know, that could have been not necessarily a big deal. If the developers already know, okay, this is how we're going to, you know, come to a middle ground, they come to a middle ground. But then, man, they need to start working on something of that nature. They really do need to, you know, bring it in as, you know, in my opinion anyways, a piece of the upcoming game. In fact, right now, as they've already made the Brooklyn map, there is nothing that stops them from taking that New York piece and saying, let's do some survival with it, or let's do something interesting with it. You know, at the end of the day, it definitely is going to be something that will resonate very well for players. And, you know, I'm of the perspective that if, you know, players are able to basically enjoy this, or they're able to at least get a taste of this, there's going to be a lot of excitement for the Division 3. All of this should be Division 3 plays. I don't think the developers right now should be thinking, well, which I don't think they are, but I think they should just basically harness all their decisions for Division 2 to Division 3 plays. But these are my thoughts. I want to hear yours in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you guys soon in another one. Peace out.